How many times have you watched the furniture show?
I watch it 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Sir, who do you like, Ed or Joe? Sir, both of you.
I love Ed.
Yeah, I think so, Joe.
We're putting a varnish on with the bar top. This is a Badger brush. It's about $90 brush, $85.90. Time for shellac.
Schlacking.
And then I took some 4-0 steel wool, 2 pads, see? And 2 pads together. Unfolded the pads.
Hey, no horseplay in this shop.
Now the final step for any upholstery project is to put on the cambric.
Hi, I'm L. Ron Hubbard,
And I may or may not be Orson Bean. I'm not sure.
and welcome to Celebrity Strip Search.
We found this chair in a little flea market. It's nice. It comes with a settee and another chair we're going to reupholster, and we're going to work with the existing finish.
It's a nice Eid Slake style, and you'll see more of that later in what we like to call the show.
But first,
Have you ever wondered, I love when the segments begin with that. Have you ever wondered, all across America they're saying no. Have you ever wondered what you should do if you have a tool that needs repairing?
well, let's say you're working with your drill or your belt sander or even one of those pneumatic air guns, and it clogs. Remember that clogged one time on you? It was so painful.
Yeah, I know. I went clogging that day.
You got to get it repaired. Where do you go? Well, we're going to go visit our friends Tony and Paul at Ideal Tool, and they're going to show us their business.
And besides, we owe them big time. So join us, and we're going to get rid of this, but then we're going to go get the tools.
Tone, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Took the order. Why didn't you say it all the time? What's the story?
I said I don't know nothing about it. I know nothing about it.
All right, easy.
They're just like us.
Boy, we're here at Ideal Tool in Chinatown in Philadelphia with Tony and Paul.
And these are the guys that lend us all our tools. Why? Because we can't afford any.
Exactly, and when one breaks, you got to have it fixed, so we come to them.
Here, we're returning.
Well, you got a real mess here today, guys.
A lot of stuff.
We have some problem. I mistook this wire for squid ink pasta.
See, and this is broken. I tried to fix it with a rubber band. My father fixed everything with a rubber band, too. Fixed the house. And a big rubber band around the foundation.
You guys are brutal with these things.
What a
Anyway,
mess.
well, we're also here to make sure that you know how to fix them. So can we watch you maybe recondition?
I'm sure we could do that. We could show you reconditioning one of these nailers. How's that sound?
That's a pneumatic nail gun.
Sure, all the contractors use them.
Who does this belong to?
Came in for service from a N. Abrams from Boston, Mass.
Oh. Well, anyway, let's take us down to the shop, and you'll show us how to pull the housing and do some stuff.
You got it.
Let's go.
Okay, guys, I can have John show you how to quick rundown on this tool and what we do to give it a general tune-up, if you'd like. We can't repair the entire thing from start to finish. I mean, that'd be like a mini-series with Richard Chamberlain, but he'll give you a quick 1, 2, 3 on it.
All right.
I gotta go. I gotta finish my argument upstairs. See us?
Okay. Hey, John, what's first?
First thing we do is clean it out. We clean the inside and the outside with the mineral spirits and look for any broken parts.
Right.
Next, we put in a service kit. It changes all the movable parts, O-rings and seals.
So this is a service kit that's put out by the manufacturer.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll open it up if I can. Oh, well, here's a big gasket.
Oh, I know that one. That one goes right here, right?
Upside down.
Right like this.
Now, do these all go in the same thing?
Most of them go into this tool. The kits are made to fit several
yeah,
tools.
see, look on the front here. See that?
Oh, several tools.
It's 3 different models, so
Now-
you got your selection there.
Now, what do these do, John?
The O-rings go throughout the tool, help stop air from leaking through and separate the separate chambers. And the most important one is the driver O-ring.
Okay.
Okay. Where do these go
The
here?
O-rings go on different parts of the machine to separate the air chambers.
So you got some here, you got one here, you got one there.
And the most important one goes...
Right here, right?
On the driver.
Now show us how this would fit in there.
The driver fits in this way.
Yeah, and that's an air compressed.
The air would force the driver down through and drive the nail.
Okay.
So that part there comes out is what comes out of here, correct? Right. Okay.
And then
the air forces it back up and set for the next fire.
So it's amazing because something that's this big, there's only this many parts in there, little teeny parts. What's this piece?
That's the switch.
Oh, so it's green.
Switch.
You know it's green. So how long would an average overhaul take?
A half hour to an hour, depending on what's wrong.
One last question, John. This is a ball peen hammer. I know this is the ball. Where's the peen?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
No problem. Thanks.
Anytime. Anytime.
See you later from Ideal Tool. All right. What do you feel like eating?
Next time you mess up an order, there's going to be trouble.
I didn't mess up nothing.
Yes,
Don't
you
go
did.
blaming
No,
nobody for
it was
nothing.
your fault,
It's your
Paul.
fault.
Paul, I don't want to hear it. It's your
man.
fault.
Your fault.
No, you did it.
Hey, Alfalfa, what do you want to do today?
Gee, I don't know. Get me the heck out of here.
Okay. Oh, look.
Oh, look.
The gang already delivered the other piece of the furniture.
Oh, boy, that was fun.
I'm tired. We brought this from the Philadelphia Trading Post, but they delivered this one already.
And they set it up just so we could start working on it.
And even though that chair and this settee have the same kind of wood on them, notice that the fabric is different. No matter, we're trashing it all. Ferdinand.
For the kids out there, I hate those rings.
Come on. Every night I got to check my daughter for fresh piercings.
We're going to use the claws, the hammers.
The various ripping tools.
Take all the tacks out.
Of course, you must be careful because you don't want to go in like this because you'll mar the wood.
You'll mar wood.
You'll mar the wood.
Now look, pull this off here. This is the gimp.
Yeah.
Remember the gimp? We put that on.
So
times before.
Shield this part with by putting your hand underneath the ripping tool.
Look at that. Look at that.
And then
there.
you can start to pull it.
Look at this here. Now I'll bet you in here more than anything, there's going to be
horsehair. Thank you very much.
Underneath this, you'll find the muslin, the white, the very rare white muslin.
Look, a horsehair shredded wheat.
Hey, don't throw that away. We might be able to use
We will use this and
breakfast
we
cereal.
will wrap it, and this will never stay crunchy in milk. Never.
Hey, look what I invented.
Very good, Ed.
We've stripped off the fabric, and now it's time to take care of the wood.
We're going to clean it down with some sandpaper and some naphtha.
But I'm very carefully removing the padding with the horsehair.
Look, want a chiclet?
It's a big brown chiclet. We're going to reuse this, so I'll save this.
Look, you take the naphtha. Remember, you want to clean this down because this has been sitting in a warehouse for who knows how long, and you're going to find a lot of dirt, a lot of buildup on it.
On the airlines, they don't give you a pillow this big.
Not that big. Pillow for your head? Oh, that's for my head?
All right.
Look at the dirt coming off of that.
Hey,
see that there?
I'll do it on this one.
And you could use a brush like Ed's doing to get into the groovies here. That's groovy, man. Far out. Wow. The naphtha will dissolve any kind of grease that's on there.
Yours is dirtier than mine.
It is.
All right, after we do that, we have to do the next step, which is, of course, sanding lightly so as to take the new finish with a rough tooth.
This is a 600 sandpaper. It's a wet and dry. We're going to use it dry.
And when you want to get into these curves...
No, don't do those. Don't do those.
I already did those.
Oh, don't. I was just going to say, on a surface like this...
I fixed it.
All you want to do is the flats of the wood. But you want to sand till it turns a little gray and dusty. Just like this here. Now this
tortilla flats of the wood.
This wood doesn't have any stain on it. This wood is a walnut and it's aged over a period of time.
Like us.
And it's got a nice color to it. So.
And the final step after we do our sanding is always...
Tack rag. Tack rag. Got most of the wood clean, but there's a lot of the carvings in here, the spaces that you can't really get with the padding rag. So I'm just going to take some naphtha here. And I'm going to clean these areas inside here Now, you really don't have to do this. If you want to be a real stickler, you can do this. Or if you need to fill up a segment, you can do this. So here I've cleaned all this with the naphtha. The naphtha will dry, and it'll pull the dirt off. And then we go to the rapid pad. Now, this is a acetone-based lacquer. You see it's kind of like a yellow color, right? And you can apply this, somebody's snickering. And you apply this with a brush the same way, and I'm going to put it in here. This is a lacquer, and we'll color all these parts here with the lacquer, and we'll even go over the leaves. Oh, I'm not going to diaper a baby, no. I'm making a pad for padding. See, like this. Put this in the hand here, just like that. Let's get this nice and tight here. You put it with the meaty paws. You gotta, there we go. That's what you want. Like an egg, just like an egg. Now, this is similar to the French polishing, only there's no pad inside. There's no wool-soaked insert that we soaked it with the shellac. This, you use just the rapid pad onto the pad, like this. Now, when you do this over a tabletop, don't pour the liquid onto the pad over the finish because it'll eat right through the finish. And you bang it on the palm to disperse the liquid. Yeah.
It's more involved than I thought.
And with the chicken. And then we're going to pad, just like this. And this restores the finish. And it brightens and shines it. Watch. Here we go again. Across the top. It restores the luster of the original finish without harming it. Unless you stop and you read a book. Then the pad will stick right to the finish. You got to keep it moving in a pendulum-like motion.
Everyone overdue.
Well,
I blame you.
That's just like you.
I blame you.
Just like you. And you'll make up a good excuse, too, I'm sure. I'm sorry. I haven't finished reading. Oh, I lent them to somebody.
I lent it, well, like my father with the ransom note when I was kidnapped. He read half of it and fell asleep.
Okay, you can leave. I never have an uninterrupted scene.
When do I get a segment?
Get a segment. Get out of here, you drunken bum. Oh, boy, I'm just finishing up this chair. Got the settee all done, finishing the chair. And now Ed's going to he's going to try and do some upholstery.
Oh, TV sobers you up in a hurry, doesn't it, folks? We've turned this settee over, and look, a bounty, a quarter, or a quarter, as we say, a dime, and some real pearls. Yes, real pearls. Yeah.
Any truniches in there?
Oh, I found a big fat trunich.
Welcome to There's Your Trunich.
We've looked underneath the settee and found that the springs are fairly sound with one or two exceptions, and that has been caused by the fact that the webbing has come undid. She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for. And you'll remember this fabulous Desaad type implement was used for pulling webbing tight. However, that's for pulling webbing that has a nice long tail. Can't use that now.
I have 120 of those.
So what we're going to use is this. These can clamp onto fabric or webbing and pull it nice and tight. And to secure that, I'll use the magnetized tack hammer and the number 14 upholstery tack. Yes, indeed. I don't put these in my mouth because then I couldn't tell you what I was doing and you wouldn't say, oh, he doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. Pull this tight, right in there. Bang it home. Grab another one, just like the other one. Ugh. I am going to use the mouth, just a little to center it. There's one. And now flip this over and do another row right on top. Always do that. I don't need, of course, to pull it tight anymore.
I think there's too much upholstery in this show.
There's too much upholstery in every show. But you know, some people come up to me when we make our fabulous appearances and say, oh, I've learned so much, I've done so much upholstery, and I always say the same thing. Better than you than me, darling. Oh, I can't bang it in. Why? I'm probably hitting another nail. When it doesn't go in, your head has hit your head, and that is so painful. I'll continue to do this, and then I'll pull up the old cambric
or dust cover.
And then we'll all be ready for the next step, which will be padding, but not padding like his kind of padding, padding like my kind of padding. See, it's a padding, it's a symmetry, it's a plan.
It's stupid.
You got that right, brother. Look, I saw the best minds of my generation, naked, dirty, from laying on this. And we've taken this off. Look what we found. Look, Sandler and Young. We'll deal with them later. This is a Trisket, friends. And we're going to cover this Trisket with new muslin, because this Trisket has inside of it something we don't want to get rid of, and that is straw mixed with... horsepower. That's enough. And here we go. We're going to stitch the muslin to the Trisket. Of course, I'll cut off this last little piece. Fold it over like this here. Get my really big curved needle. Wrong end. And I'm going to start to stitch. Nice big gross stitches. Right, Clyde? I'll tie this end off. Once upon a time in infinity, 2 or 3 guys were standing around. If you learn nothing from today's show, learn that you should go out and buy a copy of Coney Island of the Mind and read it right away. Just going to stitch this all around. We can only do a show about what we wanted to do it about. Go around this corner. Searching, running through the upholstery streets, looking for a zigzag fix. Just do it until you feel it, man. Do it until you feel it. Got a finished one here. Really clears up the sinuses. We are going to use this curved needle and this 2-ounce nylon thread to adhere this Trisket to this, the back of the settee. Does everybody have that? The book's not out yet. You have to listen really closely. Go all the way through. I've got webbing underneath this, and I'm going all the way through to the webbing to the outside back. Use very, very gross stitches. That means large, as in Gleise, the German, as in, no, she's got a Gleise one. And all around the perimeter. So simple. And look there, folks. It's real blood. It's not fake blood. Of course, I probably won't have to call a doctor for a couple of hours yet. Thank God I'm related to the Romanovs and am a hemophiliac. So we can just watch me bleed until Rasputin comes out of the canal. What stories I could weave for you as I weave in and out my fabulous Trisket. When we adhere the muslin wrap and the fabric over top of this, it'll hold it in even more. This is just so it doesn't move around while I do various other things. Paris in the spring. The rites of spring. I'm almost done, and I'll go to another, even more exciting padding technique. Put it down, put the remote control down. Put it down. put it down. So I don't care if you just got the Cartoon Network. Put it down. This is a cartoon. To finish this off, we just go in and out, back and forth. We'll knot up inside this thing, and if I had a cutting tool, I, of course, would cut it off, but I don't. So I'll do the arm now. I'll cut this off later. This, I file carefully. Here's what we have, the old horsehair. I don't want to cut off any new horse hairs, and besides, we live in a very PC country now, and my horse came to me the other day and said, I don't want to be known as a horse, I want to be an equine American. So we're going to put this down here, reuse the old horsehair and the old padding, and I've added some new cotton batting because you can always use new cotton batting. Over that, I'll then start to work my muslin in here so as to cover and define the entire program. I'll tuck that in, and then I'll pull this over top and I'll tack this in. But more about that later at another gentler time. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a very special guest, muslin wrap person. Ladies and gentlemen, come on in. Let's bring him in all the way across from the big pond, Paris, France, the amazing Christo. Come in, sir. I hear you're going to help me wrap my settee in muslin. That means vaudeville is not dead. I just hold this, Christo? Yes, all right. Let's... But wait a minute, Christo. Hold it. Hold it.
No.
You're just supposed to help me wrap.
No. Ah, see? Beautiful.
I understand you just came from a job where you wrapped Raymond Burr. Christo, please. Feel like Mrs. Ayatollah Khomeini.
Oh, this is beautiful.
You finished?
I'm finished.
Well, we've done a lot of padding and muslin to our settee. Next time, we'll be continuing our muslin and get to the fabric. Until next time, I'm Ed Feldman.
I am Crisco.
Be nice.
To all of your wooden things. Bye-bye.